Oh my God. What have I done?
Eldon whispered, struggling to breathe. For a long time after the gunshot, Eldon did not move. The sound still rang in his ears like a fire alarm that would not shut off. The house, which had always felt warm and alive, suddenly felt hollow, too quiet, as though the walls themselves were listening. Eldon's legs suddenly gave way, and he collapsed to his knees. The reality of what he had done came crashing down on him. Livette lay motionless near the doorway. The silence was unbearable. Eldon kept expecting her to blink, to groan, to sit up and shout at him, to call him insane. Anything. She didn't. The silence answered instead. A dark stain spread slowly across the tile. Eldon stared at it as though it were happening to someone else, like he was watching a movie. This isn't real, he thought. This isn't real. Then his phone buzzed in his pocket. Reality rushed back all at once. His heart began hammering. His lungs tightened. "Oh God," he whispered. "Oh God. Oh God." He dropped the gun. "Livette," he called softly as if she were only sleeping. "Livette, get up." Nothing. Still on his knees, Eldon moved towards her, then stopped halfway. He couldn't bring himself to get any closer. Seeing her up close would force him to confront what he feared he had done. He suddenly pushed himself to his feet and began pacing. Back and forth, back and forth. Think, think, think. His mind raced through headlines. Politician shoots wife. Affair exposed. Career ends in scandal. He saw handcuffs, courtrooms, prison. Everything gone. Everything he had built reduced to one moment. No, he whispered. No, no, no. Then one name surfaced through the panic. Marcus, the detective whose reputation was built on bringing violent criminals and murderers to justice. If anyone could help him, it was Marcus. They had grown up together. College roommates, secrets. Marcus owed him. Eldon had made sure of that over the years. He dialed with shaking fingers. Marcus answered groggily. "Yeah." "Marcus, come to my house," Eldon whispered. "What's wrong?" "Now, please." Something in his voice must have sounded broken, because Marcus didn't ask more questions. "I'm on my way," he said. The next 20 minutes stretched like hours. Eldon kept glancing at Livette's body, but grief never fully reached him. In his panic, she was no longer his wife, only the evidence of what he had done. He picked up the weapon, careful not to look at her as he returned it to the drawer. Hiding it gave him a brief, irrational sense that he could hide the truth as well. A car door slammed outside. Footsteps approached the house. Marcus knocked twice, fast. Eldon opened the door. Marcus stepped inside, annoyed at first. Then he saw the stain, saw Livette, and stopped. "Oh no," he breathed. He walked closer slowly, like approaching a wild animal. "What did you do?" he whispered. Eldon's voice came out flat. "She was going to divorce me. Expose my secret." Marcus gave him a knowing look, his expression hardening with disgust. "I knew this wouldn't end well," he said quietly. "You didn't listen?" "I messed up." Eldon lowered his head. "I got carried away." Marcus stared at him. "You thought killing her would solve everything?" "Marcus, I panicked." Eldon's voice cracked. "I didn't mean to." The contemptuous look in Marcus's eyes put Eldon on edge. For a second, Marcus looked like he might walk out. Leave him. Call it in. End everything. Then Eldon said quietly, "Your sister's surgery." Marcus froze. Eldon continued. "The hospital bill. Remember who paid it?" Marcus's jaw tightened. "And that promotion last year? You think that was random?" Silence. Years of favors. Quiet calls. Little rescues. All of it wrapped around Marcus like chains. Eldon stepped closer. "I need you," he said. Marcus closed his eyes. When he opened them again, his duty had given way to loyalty. "Bathroom," he said. As they carried Livette upstairs, lightning flashed outside. casting shifting shadows through the house. Thunder rolled in the distance. By the time the storm's echo faded, they were in the bathroom. Marcus moved fast now, professional, cold. He knocked over bottles, pulled a shelf loose, left the bathroom looking as though someone had fallen, turned on the shower to wet the floor. She slipped, he muttered. Head trauma. Fall. He positioned her near the tub, awkward but believable. Eldon watched. What about the evidence? Eldon whispered. Marcus stopped. For Christ's sake, Eldon. Eldon felt sick. After staging the accident in the bathroom, Marcus hurried downstairs. Eldon followed like a shadow. In the hallway, Marcus searched the floor until a small brass casing caught the light near the console table. He crouched, picked it up, and slipped it into his pocket without a word. The weapon, Marcus said, holding out his hand. Give it to me. As Eldon went to the drawer to retrieve the firearm, lightning flashed outside, followed by a low roll of thunder. I'm taking this, he said, wiping the firearm clean. Ballistics can't test what they can't find. He slipped it into a bag. Neither of them spoke. Both were shaking. They removed her clothes and wrapped a towel around her, arranging the scene to look like a tragic accident. A car slowed outside. Headlights spilled through the bathroom curtain, washing the walls in pale light. Both men froze. Marcus switched off the light. They stood in the dark, barely breathing, listening. For one suspended heartbeat, Eldon thought he heard footsteps crunching on the gravel. Levette's father. An engine idled for a few seconds. Then it drove away. Neither of them spoke. When the darkness settled again, they went back to work. Listen, Marcus said quietly. You call it in at sunrise. You find her. You cry. You don't talk too much. I loved her, Eldon whispered. Marcus looked at him with something like disgust. Then you should have let her go. Marcus walked towards the front door. He paused. If anyone asks, Marcus said, I was never here. Eldon nodded. Marcus looked up. God forgive us. Then he left. The house fell silent again. Eldon washed his hands. He scrubbed them over and over, but they still didn't feel clean. He walked back into the hallway. He picked up her handbag and carefully rearranged everything inside, trying to make it look as though no one had touched it. Inside, he found Levette's phone, dead. He placed it face down on the bedroom dresser, positioning it as if she had left it there herself. He stared at it for a moment, then looked away. Upstairs, forgotten, waiting, holding everything. Thanks for watching. If you missed the previous episodes, go back and catch up before watching the next one so you don't miss any important moments. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're always ready for the next episode.